When you come to Clarksdale, expect to make a friend. And I'm about to make a friend in a local coffee shop.
We're Stephen and Andie, and we started a travel vlog back home in California at a time when we couldn't really travel.
Now we're making our way around the US, discovering amazing places that somehow escaped our radar until only recently.
Hasn't been driven in a few years.
In our last vlog, we went to Tupelo and got to see where Elvis Presley was born. Today we're in Clarksdale, Mississippi, the birthplace of the blues.
Okay guys, we're starting early. We didn't think we'd be vlogging till tomorrow, but we found a great place for dinner right around the corner from our Airbnb, and we're already loving Clarksdale. The vibe here is really cool. We're just getting right into it, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're having dinner, and this is at, what is this place called? Hooker's? The Hooker? It's on John Lee Hooker Street or Drive.
Yeah.
Okay, we're obviously not really prepared for this. So when we left our Airbnb to get some dinner, we ran into a guy coming out of his place just a couple doors down. We all got talking. He's a drummer, so of course these guys bond. And next thing we know, it looks like we're probably going to a show tonight to see some blues and, I don't know, just maybe hang out if it seems COVID safe. But it seems like this area is, so I'm really encouraged.
Yeah.
This is like our first night out and our first time seeing live music in more than a year.
Yep.
I am so excited. Also, it's totally raining on us. It totally opened up and started raining while we were eating outside, but we did have like a cool tin roof over our heads, so we're really loving the vibe of this place already. This is cool.
Well, guys, we partied it up.
Yeah, it's time to go home. It's 9:30. We're a little out of practice at this. We didn't stay out for very long, obviously, but it was nice to be out for a change.
Yeah, it's been a little over a year.
Yeah, definitely felt good. People here are
live music.
so friendly, and yes, live music again. And now we're gonna go get some rest.
Morning. We're starting our first and only full day here in Clarksville, Mississippi. Clarksdale.
So this place is a little bit deceptive because at first glance, it almost seems like maybe almost on the verge of being a ghost town. We weren't quite sure what to make of it at first. But then we realized, as we looked in some of these really unassuming buildings that have very little signage at all, that there's some really cool businesses going on in here. Amazing restaurants, venues, coffee shops, hotels. For instance, this brick building with no signage is actually a hotel. And when you come up to the window, you got a bar inside, a really cool looking lounge, and you could almost completely miss it if you weren't really looking. This spot on the corner with the rusted out drugstore sign, it's now a really cool bakery.
Can you spot our Airbnb?
It's right here. This may look like an old abandoned commercial space. It's a really cool, funky loft space.
So we were just here filming, being tourists, shooting the Greyhound station, and an elderly woman called us over to the car and asked where we were from, and she asked if I was from Europe, and I said no, close, Los Angeles. And then she started telling us some great stories, but at the same time she said to be careful, and I have to make a point, felt totally safe here the whole time, but it was nice to see that a local was looking out for us and gave us that little pointer.
This is so awesome. In all of these old shop windows, they have large prints from a youth photography program here in Clarksdale. They had kids go out and create projects, and these photos are fantastic. These are actually the first ones that we saw, and we thought they were advertising the fact that a gelato shop was opening up in this space. That's how good these are.
We are meeting so many awesome people here. It's crazy. We come out of our place and right away just some random guy just starts chatting us up, asking us about where we're from. We obviously stick out like a sore thumb here. And starts telling us about a show this afternoon at 3 o'clock at one of the hole-in-the-wall joints not too far from our Airbnb. Then we go into a shop, the Cat's Head. The owner's in there with the head of tourism here. They start talking to us all about the place. They're giving us great stories and telling us about the people and people who run different venues and clubs and musicians. And oh my God, we were in there for, I don't even know how long, do you?
At least a half an hour.
At least, probably longer. I mean, we just completely lost track of time. This place is amazing, but do not come here if you don't like talking to people, hearing stories. I can't imagine why you would anyway if you don't like those things.
There's one thing we knew we had to try when we came here, it was the hot tamales. Apparently they're quite unique to this region and very different from what we know in Los Angeles. And Hick's world famous hot tamales apparently was the place to try. Unfortunately, probably COVID related, they are closed.
So instead we came to Abe's, which conveniently is right across the street from the famous Crossroads. Famous, it's famous.
All right, you guys, we saved the main attraction for close to the end of our trip, but we are finally at the world famous Crossroads, where legend has it, Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil. Good morning again. We're headed out of Clarksdale today, but there's one more stop we had to make. This coffee shop came highly recommended by a local. They roast their own coffee beans and they have a youth program where they teach young people how to roast coffee beans too. We think that's pretty cool.
Oh my God, you guys, we love Clarksdale, Mississippi. This place really surprised us. I mean, we knew we'd be getting blues history, hopefully a little live music while we were here. But I mean, the thing that really surprised us was the people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the most genuine conversations we've had with strangers in so long. Everyone is so friendly.
They know the history of this place. They will tell you stories about the venues.
And we kept running into the same people over and over again as we were going about our days around town.
It was really incredible. And speaking of the people, the other thing that really impressed the heck out of us is the way they're investing in their youth. From that photography program to the music program they have at the Delta Blues Museum. People are picking up instruments. They're expressing themselves visually, musically from such a young age. And even here, the coffee roasting program.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, they're really investing in their youth here, in their future, in their economy. It is so smart. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. What we saw online is that Clark's world famous tamales.
We've seen the railroad, or the trains. We've seen the river. And now we've seen the Crossroad. We've seen everything that they sing about in the blues.